What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. Welcome to Words
2024.
2024. Hey! Happy New Year.
Yeah, that's tonight. Almost there.
Almost Happy New Year. Don't watch it till midnight. This Happy New Year.
Give us 0 views until exactly 1 a.m.
In this episode, we're doing arguably one of the best war movies of all time, Part 2, Saving Private Ryan. Thank you guys so much.
I'm so excited!
Hey!
Look, I gotta take off my Christmas sweater. It's not Christmas anymore.
Oh,
Happy New Year!
oh, jeez. That was delicious.
All right, guys. So let's start off with what are your New Year's resolutions for 2024?
That's funny.
You don't have any?
I have a thing about resolutions. You're
Why?
about to hear it.
Oh, okay.
You go first. What are your New Year's resolutions?
I want a Porsche GT3 RS. I will have that before 2025.
Okay.
Yep,
Wow.
That's my resolution.
I also want a Porsche, but I don't think I'll have it before 2025.
2040 maybe. Ha! Loser.
Or
Was it? Do you
Jeez.
have a New Year's resolution for real?
me?
Yeah.
I normally don't make resolutions. I just want to make each year better than the last.
That's hilarious.
That's always been my resolution.
You know what's why that's funny?
Why?
I'm actively against resolutions.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's dumb.
I don't make New Year's resolutions.
You don't need to wait for a new year
Right.
to do better. You
Do
should
it
just
fucking
do better now.
If you have an idea and you're motivated and you want something that you're going to work towards, there's no better time to start than now. Why
Yeah.
would you all of a sudden reset because it's a new new It doesn't make sense to
I
me.
always have goals, but
Always.
goals are always changing and evolving and everything.
Yeah, I'm
and
constantly
I'm not waiting for a January 1st to start.
I'm the same way. I'm actively pursuing the next thing right now. And right now, that next thing is I'd like, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys, I'd really like to hit a bestseller list with my book. And I'm not just doing that as a plug. Like, that's a goal of mine to have my book do well. You know, I put so much work into it. I'd really like it to do well. That's kind of like my next goal. And as this drops, my book officially releases in 8 days.
Nice.
Better Broken. So if you guys want to hit the pre-sales on Amazon, that would really help me obtain that goal. Because at the end of the day, salesmanship aside, it just depends on you guys. If I only speak to our audience. I don't know if you guys know this anymore, but I don't really do podcasts. I don't do anything else besides the FNG Academy. So it's not like I'm going to be on fucking Joe Rogan, like, trying to sell my book. If you guys don't buy it, I'm not hitting those bestsellers. If you buy it, which we have the audience, you guys are enough people to make that happen. So it's really just up to you guys. It's not up to me.
I'll buy it.
Oh, thanks, Abel.
You're welcome, man.
Appreciate it.
Can I just have a free one?
You're the kind of douchebag. You're the kind of dickhead that stops me from getting bestsellers. Like, people come up to me like, "Hey man, could you just give me one?" Like, "Are you gonna sell them personally?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'll give you one. I have no issue giving you one." But at the end of the day, like,
I wish you bought it.
I wish you would just buy it, even if it's the audio version for like $6. You don't have to buy the actual book. Buy the audio version for $6. It counts. You know, and then I'll give you the $30 version signed for free, but fucking help me out, bro. It's like the people that know you the most are the ones that don't want to support you at all. The total strangers are like, "I bought it and I support you." You're like, "Oh, thank you." And your friends are like,
Bro,
"Give me one."
you just want it for free, man.
Can I have some tequila,
No.
please?
Stop asking, man.
I can't get it over here any
You're just
other
thirsty,
way.
Abel.
I got so used to just
besides-
hearing myself and like how I'm going to sound.
That makes sense. Oh, dude. Oh, wow.
You're
More sulfur, Mellis. Listen to my voice. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right, guys. You're gonna be all right.
Wait, you're fine. You're going on a hospital.
More sulfur. More sulfur.
Put my legs up.
More sulfur. You're gonna be okay, Wade.
Put my legs
You're gonna be all right.
I got him. I got him.
You're gonna be okay, Wade.
I got him.
Up, give me your campaign.
Pressure
Come on. Get you out of here.
Pressure on him.
You're gonna be okay.
This is the one part that bothers me about the captain. Like, I feel like the the entire movie, the captain made amazing decisions. But even then, there's the realism in the fact that you're not always going to be on point. And the captain got very selfish in this scene.
Yeah.
And like he chose to do something. His guys came up to him and said, hey, we don't think this is a good idea. We kind of unanimously think that we should avoid the danger of this in order to accomplish our mission. And he said, no, we're trying to win the war, and got on his high horse, and it ended up costing him his medic.
Yeah.
And it's like the one guy that's there to keep you all alive in a very dangerous situation, and now you lost him.
Yeah, it was poor tactical choice, I think. Yeah, overall, like you said, he wants to win the war, but honestly, that's not their mission. Just bypass this and keep moving.
Right.
And now, like you said, you lost your medic. This is the one guy you don't want to lose. And now he's like
bleeding out. And
dying.
He knows he's bleeding out. And he's
Yeah.
trying to help you stop him from dying.
Put my
Yeah.
legs up.
Yeah. And it bothers me because I have that personal experience with this in combat with leadership making really dumb decisions that we weren't on board with as a team.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating when this happens because they get stuck on it. And it's almost like they know that it's better to just keep digging the hole deeper than to try and back out. They feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So they just won't back off it. And you end up having to follow down this rabbit hole of stupid decisions because once they start it, their egos won't let them backtrack and say, okay, you know what, you guys are right. Let's pull out of this and not do it. And in combat, there's just, you have to always weigh risk versus reward.
Yeah. Especially when you're operating in a small team like this. Like a big unit, you have the one person that's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. But a small team like this, like you need to take everybody into
Right.
account. Everybody has some sort of expertise and they're a subject matter expert in something. So
Their opinion matters. Their
exactly.
motivation matters. Their influence matters. And if you're not a good enough leader to understand that you have to account for that, then you might be in the wrong position.
You got to check your ego at the door.
Check your ego.
Bitch crap, now you're gonna shoot me, huh? He's better than you. Then why don't you just do it, Sarge? Do it, man. Put one in my leg and give me that $1 million.
I'm gonna shoot you in your big goddamn mouth!
Well, put your money where your mouth is
You
and
don't
do
know
it
when
then.
to shut
Do
up.
it.
You don't know
Pull
how
the
to
trigger
shut up.
already. Captain, please.
What's the pool on me up to?
You are a coward son of a bitch!
I'm waiting, Sarge.
Mike,
I'm
what's
waiting.
the pool on me up to right now? What's it up to? What is it? $300? Is that it? 300?
What a fucking amazing scene, dude.
Yeah.
God, it's beautiful. So much going on. The he wants to walk away, and then the staff sergeant or the sergeant first class is trying to puts him at gunpoint, which technically is allowed, legal, because desertion is punishable by death.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that you could just start blasting your fucking privates in the face. I think you have to actually go to court on that.
I'd blast my privates in the face.
Yeah, you would.
Sorry.
He's pointing his gun in his face. It really bothers me that his finger's on the trigger. I think you can make your point. There's two things that bother me tactically about him pulling his gun out. One is that he racked it. So you're telling me that you don't have a bullet in the chamber.
In a combat zone.
In a combat zone, in a 1911, which has a safety. So obviously you would have the hammer cocked back, round in the chamber, thumb safety on.
Yeah.
That's how you would run a 1911 in a combat zone. So first of all, please take your finger off the trigger. Second, make sure you have a round in the chamber, because imagine you need to resort to your pistol. Now you have to pull it out, rack it, make sure it's off safe, and shoot it for a 1911. Just have it racked, hammer cocked back, on safe. So that way you just thumb safety down, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's stupid nitpicky stuff. The point of the overall scene is amazing. I love how the sniper is choosing sides, right? Because he's like, the captain's not making a decision. So then he pulls his pistol out and points it at the sergeant first class.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm not going to let you shoot my buddy. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Or hopefully he's probably just going to disarm him. But I love everything that's happening. And then the captain realizes that testosterone's high, anxiety is high, everything is escalated to this point where none of them want to be at, because they're a small unit. They all care about each other. They don't want to be here. So how could he disarm it?
Yeah.
Yelling more?
Yeah. How do you diffuse the situation?
How do you diffuse it? It's not pulling your gun out and then you have a fucking Mexican standoff. He brings in something that's completely disarming. Yeah. What's the poll at for what I do for a living? Because I haven't told you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
Now is the time when I need to pull that card out because you guys have escalated so high that I need to diffuse you all back down to realize that you're all brothers.
I think for me, it's interesting because it shows the different dynamics between an officer and an NCO, right? The officer, he's the thinking man, like moving the chess pieces around. The NCO is kind of like the muscle, right? And you could tell he doesn't really agree with the captain's decisions, but he is going to enforce the captain's decisions. Yeah. And so, like, you can see the way he looks at him, like, it's almost like, I don't want to do this, but this is my position, right? And so he's enforcing it, and he's being the disciplinarian. And then you see how the captain comes in, and he's like on his, thinking. It's like, oh, this is how I'm going to diffuse the situation, and it just shows the difference between an NCO and an officer, and I think it's really good.
The scene is beautiful.
Yeah,
yeah, and I love the sniper pulls his pistol, and he's like, "Sir,"
yeah,
because he knows he's about to make a decision that like puts him in a really bad spot.
Yep.
You're about to point your gun and consider shooting your sergeant first class. Also a friend of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like nobody wants any of this.
Yeah, exactly.
None of you guys want this. The sergeant first class doesn't want it. The private doesn't want it. But we're very egotistical human beings, especially in special operations. And once things escalate to this point, you don't know how to just back off gracefully. Mm-hmm. We would almost rather deal with the consequences and die on that sword than to back off gracefully and learn how to deal with our egos instead.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is a Ranger unit. If this was a group of Green Berets, I wouldn't even be fucking batting an eye at any of this. I would be like, yeah, this makes sense. Oh, this makes sense.
Yeah, right.
And you just hope that the one guy comes in with a story like the captain's is like, you guys know what? This one time back in Vietnam, I had a real good piece of.
We love you long time.
And then everyone's just like, yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
right. That's a good point. That's a good point. Pussy is a good point.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. I love this Abel. Before he's like, no.
So can we say this? You're good.
Yeah.
Until at least reinforcements.
You got 3 minutes to gather your gear.
Sir, what about them? I mean, there's barely hardly enough of this.
2 of our guys already died trying to find you, all right?
Sir. That's right.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Like
It's a pickle.
Nobody's gonna leave in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you gotta come with us. I'm like, no. But an interesting fact that I read about this is that they actually kept Matt Damon separate from the rest of the actors in the Ranger Regiment in order to have them have that aggressiveness towards each other. They didn't want them to be friends. So that way when they came and had that conflict, it was real and it was like, fuck you, we don't know you.
You haven't been through what we've been through.
You don't know us. Yeah. Because if they had all this, dialogue before, then it'd be like they'd have to maybe fight those feelings and try to pretend. So they actually kept Matt Damon away from the rest of this cast up until this point.
It's more authentic. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So things you have to do, it's almost like Steven Spielberg understands how to, like, the fact that you have to, like, not everything could be covered with acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you have to blend in real life human behavior and then act at the end of it. Like, acting is like the last resort to realism.
That's wild.
Just wild as fuck.
Yeah.
Super cool.
It's so cool. And so I just love this scene that it's like most soldiers are going to fight to stay with their units because like you have to look at your men at that point and realize that you're getting a pass to go home before it's over.
Yeah.
While they all have to stay and risk the fact that they could still die.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody wants to go home, but you don't want to be the one that's just getting this magic, like you're just getting pulled out.
Right.
Like you want to sit there and, finish it with your boys.
Yeah, you want to go home when it's time.
Yeah. Like if there's like, all right, everybody's going home, you're like, all right, cool.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
But if it's just you, you're like,
Yeah.
that's kind of a dick move, bro.
Yeah.
Guess I'll wait for you guys to get back.
Hope you make it,
Yeah.
losers. You'll probably make it. You'll probably make it. You definitely won't make it. You're fucked. Later, guys. But you know who's certainly gonna make it? This guy.
Eating steak and lobster tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. This is like a total twist on it. You're like,
all right, cool.
who's got 2 thumbs getting out of here right now? This guy.
Start
Hey.
grabbing his shit. You're like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
This time, that one.
Do it now! Light it up! You! Light it!
Yeah, I feel like understanding the time involved in your time fuse is pretty important.
It's very important. And we just saw the consequence for not knowing your time fuse.
He disappeared.
He's no longer in the chat.
He fucking Houdini'd out this motherfucker. And the fact that
Jeez.
he was like, he like ran up with it and he was like, it's like it's a sock covered in tar. Fucking sling that bitch, dude.
Jeez.
Stick it.
Yeah,
Lick it, stick it.
That was a gross
Might
miscalculation.
be a dumb question, but he can see the fuse, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he just chose. Not
He
to
just, well, I think he just got so hyper focused on sticking it to the tank and where he was sticking it to the tank.
Yeah.
You have to remember that he's not one of the Rangers. So he could have been like, this is the most contact he's had, or he got maybe just nervous that the Rangers put him in charge in such an important position.
He's also running up to a tank that's got enemy combatants
Yeah.
inside of it. There's people shooting.
The whole
like,
situation's bad.
a lot of things. Like he didn't pay attention, unfortunately.
But the whole point, which was an amazing idea, is to dip their socks in tar, and then that way they could create sticky bombs. But when you go up and you try to place it like it's, you know, a sticky C4 explosive that's time, you know, got an initiator or something, and you're currently burning out the clock.
Yeah.
I would rather just launch that.
Time is
bitch
of
and
the
like,
essence.
yeet.
Let's just throw it and hope that it sticks.
Yeah, it's like, do something, get rid of that bitch, and then he just goes, poof. It's like, ugh,
Fuck.
whoops, damn it.
Darn it.
But what I like about this whole scene, to me, this is kind of like the second beach landing scene where they put just so much effort into tactics and how a smaller force could overrun a much larger force by using the environment and good tactics. It's just amazing. That's what tactics is all about. If you truly love tactics, then you're going to become obsessed with thinking outside the box and using different ideas and coming up with different ideas in order to overwhelm a much larger force.
Yeah. Like in here, he's like, how do we get them to come down this street? What are we going to do? It's like, all right, well, give them a target to chase after. So that's when they took off on the whatever they called it. So then they're like trying to channelize them into the one spot where they have the biggest advantage on an overwhelming force.
Yeah. Yeah. Tactics is awesome.
Yeah.
If you like truly pay attention to it and like understand how to use it and have enough knowledge to start manipulating it and think outside the box, it's really badass.
It's like chess.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Fuck.
See, it's so fucking infuriating.
Yeah.
The guy's right in the stairwell with the gun. He could have just gone and shot him and saved his friend. Instead, he stands in the fucking stairwell, terrified,
Coward.
afraid to move, and it pisses me off. It's so hard to watch that scene. And like, I understand how fear overtakes you in combat. So like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to, oh, if you fear, like, oh, I've fucking been there. I've been terrified, and you still fucking move forward because that's what you signed up for. And I don't give a shit that this guy was a linguist and a maps guy. You signed up for the U.S. military in a time of war.
He also was probably drafted.
I don't give a fuck. You put the uniform on.
But he's still there, and you're in this situation. You're not going to make it any better by standing in the hallway.
No.
Get up there and do something.
Do something. Do something.
And then you see after the scene when the guy walks out and he just stares at him and walks right by him, turns his back to him because he knows like you are such a coward.
Yeah, you're not
going to do shit. I'm going to turn my back to you when you have a weapon in your hand and you're not going to do shit about it.
Yeah.
I just killed your buddy.
And then this guy goes off and then kills the captain.
Yeah, it was. I get it. It was an infuriating scene.
Yeah, it's like
do something, anything more than what you're doing.
How could you put on a military uniform and be so terrified to move?
You're sitting there listening to this guy get killed.
Yeah,
you already heard the one guy get killed, and now you're listening to your other buddy or
get
another
slowly stabbed through the chest with his own knife. Like, do you really think that you can't make that situation any better with a loaded rifle in your hands? Like, come on, dude. I hate this scene.
Out! Those 60 rounds! We can use them without the tube! How? Use arming wires! Not wax! Leave it!
All right, pause. Pretty dope scene.
Did you learn that?
Nope. So apparently when this movie came out, there's a lot of people like up in arms about the fact that you can't do that with the 60s.
Yeah.
Only to find out that now you can, and that happened. Like there's actual reports of people in combat using the 60s by hitting them and then throwing them.
I think it's cool because it shows that kind of outside of the box thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what you need in a situation like this. And it's like, oh shit, we don't have the tube. What are we gonna do?
You're out of ammo. You have nothing else, but you got 60s. And then Matt Damon comes in and is like, turns out he's not useless at all.
Matt
and he's
Damon.
like, Matt Damon. Why does he get that rap for
Team America?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I don't know.
It's so weird, right? Like,
somebody if you guys can ask somebody in the comments to tell us.
did you guys know why they did that to Matt Damon? They're like, Matt Damon. Matt Damon. It's like I don't get it. Like he's a great actor. I don't know. But anyway, so the whole slamming the 60 to arm it and then launching it, yeah, it caused some upheaval between people. But it actually there was reports of people actually doing that in live.
So is it a time, like a time fuse, or what is that?
I don't know how the 60s is actually initiated. I know that you could put it on. So the 60 tube has two settings. It has a drop setting, so I could just release it and then it fires as soon as it hits the bottom of the tube.
Yeah.
And then, but there's also a trigger fire setting, so that little hand trigger. So then I could drop it into the tube, aim it, and then if it's on trigger fire, I'll squeeze it and then it'll shoot it.
Oh wow.
So just given those two firing sequences, there must be a punch, almost like a bullet.
Yeah.
That has to get punched
like
in
primer.
order. Yeah, a primer in order to activate it. I thought there was a minimum arming distance to a 60, but then again, I haven't studied up on 60s in a long time, so
Yeah. Also, this was 1940s, so
right.
probably
The
not.
munitions are completely different than what we fire today. It's like I don't see them putting cheese charges on anything,
Yeah.
things like that. But if we were good at our jobs, we would have researched that beforehand and then told you exactly what it was. Because what happens on this show is we say we don't know, and then you guys go to Google and then hit us in the comments like, this is how it went
You're
down.
stupid.
Or
yeah.
you knew before you commented.
But
No, you didn't.
You have a lot
Googled
more
it.
time to research than we do because a lot of the things that we say are just like off the cuff. So
There's nothing worse than a fucking keyboard historian, dude. Like all of a sudden they're like, well, actually, in 1965.
oh, you don't know.
And it's like, okay, I'm impressed if you literally didn't Google any of that before you sent that message. So if you're gonna correct us in the comments, you're not allowed to do it before if you Googled anything. If you didn't have to Google, by all means, send it. If you actually knew before this moment in time, fine, send it. But if you're Googling right now, take that comment and shove it up your ass because we don't want to hear it. Because you know what we could also do ourselves is Google. But we're too fucking lazy. Are you serious, dude? You're gonna die whispering in my ear, earn this? Fucking how? How?
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Don't die.
What am I gonna do? Fucking go home and be the Pope? How am I gonna earn like 5 guys dying so I can live?
This.
Your dying breath was earn this.
You might as well be like, this was your fault. It's like, fuck.
Dude,
This guy's ruined for the rest
how
of his
do you
life.
earn that shit? You
Like,
gotta go home and be fucking Mother Teresa for the rest of your life to come close to earning 5 guys' lives
Thank you
for your own life.
Thank you for this burden, sir.
Yeah. Like, bro, how?
I think he just wanted him to care. That's all. Like, try as hard as you can.
Give me more. Don't just say earn this.
Try as hard as you can. Motherfucker.
Say be a good person or something
Yeah.
like that. Don't earn this.
Love your family. Love the one you're with. I don't know. Hit me with any meme that you found on
Volunteer.
fucking Instagram. But don't hit me with earn this.
Carry the boats.
Who's gonna carry the boats? Oh shit! All right, guys,
Anyways.
we're gonna wrap this up because it's Christmas time, and we're just
It's New Year's time.
this New Year's time. We already past Christmas time. We're just over here drinking too much tequila, having a good time, hanging out with our bros. We're gonna shut these cameras off and continue to do exactly that.
Should we leave him with a cliffhanger?
New Year's shot.
New Year's shot.
New Year's shot. New Year's shot.
What did you think? What is this?
What?
Because I'm not gonna say it because the camera's recording right now. I heard something else.
Oh my god.
On that note,
No. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Beers and Breakdowns.
What the fuck? I would never say.
If we're not canceled by next week, we'll see you on the next
see you
one.
in 2024.
Peace. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to FNG Academy. I just had a quick announcement. I'm proud to say that we've been helping people get selected for 3 years now. I've been getting a lot of messages about people thanking us and saying that they just graduated from selection and they got selected. People graduating the Q course. One of my buddies just sent me a video from the Charlie committee. He asked, if you guys have ever heard of the FNG Academy, raise your hands. And all their hands went up, and it just filled me with pride. So part of the way that we do that is making sure that you guys are physically fit and ready for selection. And the way we've been doing that for the past couple of years is by sending you to a Green Beret we know and trust, Kevin over at 18 Alpha Fitness. So if you want to get selected, you need to be in the best shape possible, and you need a programmer who knows what they're talking about. So go check out Kevin over at 18 Alpha Fitness. Use code word BUCK to get a discount. Tell him we sent you and hook you up. Congrats to everyone who's been getting selected lately, and we'll see you guys on the next one.